श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. On Wednesday, we had the good fortune of having darshan of and listening to Sri Periyavad Anugruha Bhashanam. I think a lot of people attended and got the benefit. We continue with our weekly Mookapanchashati explanation program. Today we are in Kataksha Shatakam, Shloka number 55. Yeah.
ओष्ठप्रभा पटल विद्रुम मुद्रिते ते प्रोवल्लिवीचि सुभगे मुखकान्ति सिन्धौ कामाक्षि वारिभर पूरणलम्बमान कालाम्बुवागसरणिं लभते कटाक्षः.
Kamakshi, last line, Katakshaha labhate, your sidelong glance attains Kalambuvaha Tharanim. Kalambuvaha is rain-bearing cloud. Ambuvaha is cloud. Kala is dark rain-bearing cloud. Tharani is the path. Your sidelong glance goes the way of the rain-bearing dark cloud. Vari Bhara Purana Lambamana. The cloud is described. Vari Bhara Purana Lambamana. Lambamana means low hanging. Vari Bhara Purana means full of water. The cloud has absorbed a tremendous amount of water and it is low hanging. Low hanging means it is ready to pour out all the waters. Similarly, the Kataksha, sidelong glance of Devi, is full of karuna, full of compassion, overflowing with compassion, and it is ready to pour out that compassion for the least pretext. That is the indirect meaning. Varibhara Purana Lambamana Kalambuvaha Taranim Katakshaha Labhate. Now the cloud is further being described. Oshtraprabha Patala Vidruma Mudrite Bhruvalli Beach Subhage Mukhakanti Sindhau. Mukhakanti Sindhau. If you imagine the radiance of Devi's face as an ocean, Mukhakanti, the radiance of the face, Sindhau, in the ocean, in that ocean, Bhruvalli Vichi Subhage. Bhruvalli is the creeper of eyebrows, which we have seen before, the eyebrow creeper. Vichi is the wave. Subhage means it is very attractive, it is very auspicious. The eyebrow is there in the form of a wave in the ocean, which is the radiance of the face. Now, in the ocean, not only wave is there are also coral reefs that is being described. Oshtha Prabha Patala Vidruma Mudrite. Mudrite means marked. Vidruma means coral reef. Now, which is the coral reef in this ocean? Oshtha Prabha Patala. Patala means mass. The mass of radiance of the lips. The mass of radiance of the lips. Lips are red colored. So it is compared with Vidruma, that is the coral reef. In the ocean, you have the coral reef. So here the coral reef is the radiance from the lips. And the waves are the eyebrow creeper. Because eyebrow creeper also keeps moving along with the movement of the eye. The eyebrow also keeps moving up and down, left and right. So that is compared to a wave. So in this ocean of the radiance of the face, there is a cloud. on the top of this ocean, there is a cloud, and that cloud is the Kataksha, and that is ready to pour out the compassion of water of compassion. Te Kataksha, your sidelong glance, O Kamakshi, is taking the path of dark rain-bearing cloud, which is full of water, overflowing with water, and it is low-hanging to be able to pour out the waters of compassion, and it is in the cloud is in the on the top of or in the ocean of the radiance of the face, which has the auspicious, good-looking, beautiful waves of the eyebrow creeper, and it is marked by coral reefs of the mass of radiance of the lips. Next.
मन्दस्मितैर्धवलिता मणिकुण्डलांशु सम्पर्कलोहितरुचिः त्वदपाङ्गधारा कामाक्षि मल्लिकुसुमैः नवपल्लवैश्च नीलोत्पलैश्च रचितेव विभाति माला
O Kamakshi, Twatru Apangadhara, the second line. The flow of your radial glance, your sidelong glance, the flow of your sidelong glance is like a mala, vibhati mala. It is like a garland. Now, garland will have a different colors of flowers. Now, the poet is describing in this garland of sidelong glance, what are the various different colored flowers. Mandasmitaihi dhavalita. It has white colored flowers, which is the gentle smile. Dhavalita means white colored gentle smile. Manikundalamshu samparka lohita ruchihi. Lohita ruchihi, the shine of the red color. Shine of the red color is obtained by contact, samparka, by the contact with Manikundalamshu, the contact with the rays emanating from the gems in the earrings. Because the gems in the earrings are red colored, so there is a red atmosphere surrounding the sidelong glance. So the red atmosphere is coming from the earrings, the white atmosphere is coming from the gentle smile. And by nature, the sidelong glance is dark because the eyes are dark. So you've got three colors, the black, white, and red. Now these are compared to three different flowers. Malli kusumaihi navapallavaischa neelotpalaischa rachita iva vibhati mala. This mala, this garland, rachita iva, it looks like made of these three types of flowers. Malli kusumaihi, the jasmine flowers, malli flowers. Nava, that is white. Then the red color, nava pallavaischa, the fresh shoots. The fresh shoots are always red in color. They become green later on. So he says, nava, now that's a nava. Nava means fresh, newly generated. So the fresh shoots are red in color. Then Neelotpalaisha. You have got the dark lily flowers. So these three flowers are there in this garland. White jasmine, the red colored new shoots, and the black dark lilies. Your sidelong ground looks like a garland made of these three different types of colored flowers. And the white color comes from the gentle smile. The red color comes from contact with the rays of the gems in the earrings. And the black color is there by nature in the eyes. Next.
कामाक्षि शीतल कृपा रस निर्जराम्ब संपर्क पक्ष्मल रुचिः त्वदपाङ्गमाला गोभिः सदा पुररिपोः अभिलक्ष्यमाणा दूर्वा कदम्बकविडम्बनम् आतनोति.
Again, it is compared to a garland. Second line, Tvatu Apanga Mala, the garland of your sidelong glance. Last line, Durva Kadambaka Vidambanam Atanoti. Atanoti means it attains. It attains the show, Vidambanam, the show of Durva and Kadamba flowers. Durva flowers and Durva grass and Kadamba flowers. Durva Kadambaka. Or you can say Kadambaka can be interpreted as a forest, mass. You can say mass of Durva. It can be interpreted as a mass of Durva grass. Now, why he is comparing it to Durva, he is now going to explain. Sheetala Kriparasa Nirjarambaha Samparka Pakshmala Ruchihi Sat Apangamala. Your sidelong glance is, because it has been compared with Durva forest, it needs watering, isn't it? So, which is the water for this Durva forest? Sheetala Kriparasa Nirjara Ambaha. Ambha means water, Nirjara means the stream, waters from the stream of the compassion, the essence of compassion, which is very cool. You've got very cool water, Sheetala Kriparasa, very cool waters of compassion, which is in the form of stream, Samparka, because of that contact with those waters. Pakshmala Ruchi, the radiance has been developed, has grown. Pashmala means grown. The radiance has grown because of contact with the waters of the stream of the essence of compassion, which is very cool. Now, how this Durva forest has attained growth because of good waters, he has explained. Now, next. Gobhistada puraripoho abhilashyamana. If you have a good Durva forest, it is very much liked by cows, gobhihi, by cows. Puraripoho of Shiva. Puraripo is Shiva. Shiva's cows. Abhilashyamana. Abhilasha means desire. Abhilashyamana, desired. Desired by Shiva's cows. Now, why Shiva comes here? So it can be any cow, isn't it? So the actual meaning should be go has got several meanings in Sanskritam. One is cow, another is I, another is earth. Go is also meaning earth, bhumi. So here it means eyes. That means for Shiva's eyes, Shiva's eyes always desire this Apangamala. So it is desired by Shiva's eyes. That is what the poet wants to say. And because he has compared the Apangamala to a Durva forest is desired by cows. Now Shiva's cows, Shiva's cows and Shiva's eyes, both are to be applied in the case of forest as well as in the case of Apangamala. That is how it goes. The poet's imagination runs riot as usual. Your sidelong glance, which is in the form of a garland, which is in the form of a continuous progression, is taking the show of the forest of Durva grass, which has been watered, which has attained growth by contact with the waters of the stream of the essence of cool compassion, and it is desired by the cows of Shiva or by the eyes of Shiva in the case of Apangamala. I hope it is clear. Next.
हृत्पङ्कजं मम विकासयतु प्रमुष्णः उल्लासमुत्पलरुचेः तमसां निरोधा दोषानुषङ्गजडतां जगतां धुनानः कामाक्षि वीक्षणविलास विनोदयस्ते.
This time the glance of Devi is compared to Dinodaya, the Suryodaya, the rise of the sun. Kamakshi Vikshana Vilasa Dinodayaha Te. Te Vikshana Vilasa Dinodayaha. The beauty of your glance, which is like a sunrise. Now, if it is sunrise, then he has to establish that example. That is what he is doing. Hrit Pankajam Mama Vikasayatu. Because as soon as sun rises, lotus blossoms. So he says, may my heart lotus blossom. Hrit Pankajam. The lotus heart of mine, let it blossom. Vikasayatu. Pramushnan Ullasam Utpala Ruchehe. Utpala Ruchehe, the radiance of the dark lily, blue lily, Ullasam, the beauty of that blue lily, Pramushnan, taking away, defeating, because once the sun rises, the lily withers. So that is what he says. Pramushnan, taking away, withering the beauty of the dark blue lily, the radiance of the blue lily, tamasam nirodha, removing darkness, because as soon as sun rises, darkness goes away immediately, at the same instant. So he says, tamasam nirodha, removing darkness. And in the case of the sidelong glance, it removes ignorance. Darkness is ignorance. Tamasam nirodha, in the case of sidelong glance, it is ignorance. The people's ignorance is removed. Then doshanushanga jadatam jagatam dhunanaha. Dhunanaha, shaking off jagatam jadatam, the inertia, which is ignorance of the world, plural. Jagatam jadatam. The ignorance, the inertia of the world is being shaken off, is being removed. Now, why this ignorance and inertia comes? It comes because of dosha anushanga. Anushanga means by contact. By contact with dosha, by contact with faults, by contact with faults, by contact with mistakes, this ignorance and this inertia come, and that is being removed by the glance of Devi. And in the case of sunrise, dosha means night. Dosha has got two meanings. One is fault, mistake. Another is evening or darkness. Evening or darkness. So the night, the darkness of the night is also removed. Doshanushanga jadatam. Because people become inert, people become lazy during the night. That's why they are called jada. Because they sleep and then they are not able to shake off their jadyam. So that they are able to do only after sunrise. So he says, Doshanushanga jadatam jagatam dhunanaha. Similarly, the ignorance of people is not released, is not removed till they come across Devi's glance. Till then they are steeped in ignorance, and this ignorance goes away as soon as Devi's glance falls on them, similar to sunrise. So, O Kamakshi, the beauty of your glance is like sunrise. Let it blossom my lotus heart and let it defeat the shine of the dark lily flower, and let it tamasam nirodha, let it remove all darkness, all ignorance, and it also shakes off, removes the ignorance, the inertia of all the world, which occurs by contact with the night, or it occurs by contact with mistakes and faults which are common during human life. Next.
चक्षुर्विमोहयति चन्द्रविभूषणस्य कामाक्षितावककटाक्ष तमप्ररोहः प्रत्यङ्मुखं तु नयनं स्थिमितं मुनीनां प्राकाश्यमेव नयतीति परं विचित्रम्.
Second line, Kamakshi, Tavaka, Kataksha, Samaprarohaha. Tavaka Kataksha, your sidelong glance. Tamaha Prarohaha, it is dark. Tamaha means it is dark, it is black in color. Prarohaha, it is growing. It is grown in the form of like a tree. It is growing in the form of a plant. Praroha, like a plant or a tree, which is dark, which is your sidelong glance. Now, why is it compared with a plant or a tree? Now he is saying that it chakshuhu vimohayati chandra vibhushanasya. This kataksha vimohayati, it deludes chakshuhu, deludes the eyes of Shiva. Chandra vibhushana is Shiva. Shiva who is having moon as the ornament on his head. So he says, it deludes the eyes of Shiva, this Kataksha. Though it is dark, though it has grown into a big plant of the dark plant, it deludes the eyes of Shiva. But in the case of Munis, what does it do? Pratyang mukham tu nayanam stimitam muninam prakashyameva nayati iti param vichitram. For Munis, Muninam, Nayanam, the eyes of Munis, Simitam, it is stiff, it is motionless. If you have seen the pictures of Munis, they are very still, motionless, and their eyes are completely stiff because they don't use their eyes at all. They don't use their eyes, they don't see anything. Even if their eyes remain half closed or half open, or completely closed or completely open, even then they don't use their eyes because their mind is completely concentrated on Parabrahma Chintanam. So he says, though it is completely stiff, completely motionless, Timitam, what happens? As soon as Devi's Kataksha falls on the Munis, Pratyang Mukham Prakashyameva Nayati. Because their eyes are turned inwards, Pratyang Mukham turned inwards. Their eyes which are turned inwards, they become very lighted, very bright. Prakashyameva Nayati. It leads those eyes to light. The Kataksha leads those inwardly turned eyes to light. This is Param Vichitram. This is extremely strange. Why it is strange? For those munis whose external eyes are completely motionless, they are not at all affected by Kataksha, but their inner eyes, which are turned inward, they become lighted because of Kataksha. Whereas in the case of Shiva, as soon as he sees this Kataksha, he becomes deluded. See, in the case of Munis, they become more, they get more jnana. But in the case of Shiva, he gets more delusion by seeing the same Kataksha. Same Kataksha has got two different effects. In the case of Shiva, it brings him delusion. In the case of Munis, in fact, they are not even seeing the eyes with their external eyes. They are seeing the eyes with inwardly turned eyes. Even then, they become very much lighted. Whereas Shiva, who sees the external eyes, should have got jnana. Instead of that, he becomes deluded. This is the great contrast. Param Vichitram. So he says, in the case of Shiva, his eyes gets deluded because of the dark sidelong glance. But in the case of Munis, their external eyes are stiff and motionless, but the inwardly turned eyes are led to a good amount of light, great amount of light. Prakashyameva nayati. This is very strange. Next.
कामाक्षि वीक्षण रुचा युधिर्जितं ते नीलोत्पलं निरवशेषगताभिमानम् आगत्य तत्परिसरं श्रवणावतंस व्याजेन नूनम् अभयार्थनम् आतनोति.
This shloka has been made in a lighter vein regarding Nilotpala flower. O Kamakshi, Nilotpalam, the blue lily flower, Vikshana Rucha Yudhi Nirjitam Te Vikshana Rucha Yudhi Nirjitam. Nirjitam means defeated. Yudhi in the battle, it was defeated in the battle by the radiance of glance. By your radiance of glance, it was defeated in battle, the Nilotpala flower. Niravashesha Gatabhimanam. So having been defeated, it lost all its pride, all its conceit. Abhimanam, pride, conceit. Gata, removed, gone away. Niravashesha, completely. Niravashesha means without leaving any balance. Avashesha is balance. Niravashesha, without leaving any balance. That means completely. The Abhimana of Nilotpala flower is completely gone. The pride, the conceit is completely gone because it has been defeated roundly by the glance of Devi. Now, what did the Nilotpala flower do? Agatya tat parisaram. But it did not go away. It went back to the eyes of Devi. Tat parisaram, the area of the eyes. The area of the eyes, Agatya, having come there, Shravana Vatamsa Vyajena, not Vyojena, Vyajena. Shravana Vatamsa Vyajena. Vyaja means pretext. The Nilotpala flower made a pretext of ornament for the ears. Vatamsa is ornament. Shravana is ears. Ornament for the ears. Because it wanted to be near the eyes, near the glance of Devi. So it chose the ears where it can become an ornament on the top of the ears. Shravana Vatamsa Vyajena Noonam Abhayarthanam Atanoti. Why it came there? It wants protection from fear. Abhaya. Noonam means definitely. Abhaya Arthanam. Arthanam means prarthana. That means prayer. Abhayarthanam, prayer for fearlessness, prayer for freedom from fear. Atanoti, it performs. That is, Nilotpala flower performs prayer for freedom from fear because having been defeated in that battle, it is fearing for its life. What will happen to me now? So he says it is better to surrender at the enemy's feet. So what the Nilotpala did was to be close to the eyes. It became an ornament for the ear so that it can keep on praying to Devi's glance for Abhaya. So that is the meaning. So he says the Nilotpala flower, the dark lily flower, was defeated in battle by the radiance of your glance, and it lost its pride and conceit completely without leaving any balance. Then it came to the area of your eyes, and in the pretext of becoming an ornament on the top of the ear, it performs the prayer for freedom from fear definitely. Next.
आश्चर्यमम्ब मदनाभ्युदयावलम्बः कामाक्षि चञ्चल निरीक्षण विभ्रमस्ते धैर्यं विधूय तनुते हृदि रागबन्धुं शम्भोस्तदेव विपरीततया मुनीनाम्.
Ashcharyam Amba. Again, one more wonder he is expressing. Oh, mother, this is really wonderful. What is wonderful? He is going to tell us. Kamakshi Chanchala Narikshana Vibhramaha Te. The beauty of your fickle glance, the beauty of your fickle glance, Chanchala Narikshana Vibhramaha, Madana Abhyudaya Avalambaha. Madana is Manmatha. Abhyudaya, his upward progress. Avalambaha, support. Support for the well-being, support for the power of Manmatha. Your glance is the support for the power, for the well-being, for the upward growth of Manmatha. And what it does? Dhairyam vidhuya tanute hridi ragabandham shambhoho. Shambhoho of Shiva. Dhairyam vidhuya. He is a man of great courage. Shiva is a man of great courage. But after seeing your eyes, he loses completely his courage. Dhairyam vidhuya. Removing his courage. Hridi ragabandham tanute. Not only his courage is gone, he is also bound by attachment. Ragabandham, bond of attachment. Tanute, it creates Hridi in his heart. In his heart, it creates the bond of attachment, making him lose his courage. Okay, in the case of Shiva, it does that. What happens to Munis? Tadeva, same glance, not a different glance, same nirikshana, chanchala nirikshana vibhramaha, same beautiful, fickle glance. It removed the fear, removed the courage of Shiva. It created attachment, bond of attachment in his heart. But in the case of Muni, tatyeva, same glance, viparitataya muninam. In the case of Muni, it acts exactly in an opposite manner. That means it removes all their attachment and it gives them courage. In the case of Shiva, it removed his courage and created bond of attachment. But in the case of Muni, it removes all their attachment, bond of attachment is completely gone, and it creates extraordinary courage, viparitataya, completely in contrast. This is Ashcharyam, this is the beauty, this is the wonder. Oh mother, this is the wonder. The beauty of your glance, of your fickle glance, is the support for the power, for the rising well-being of Manmatha, because it has the Manmatha power also, it removes the courage of Shambhu and it creates in his heart bond of attachment. But in the case of Muni, it acts exactly in an opposite fashion. It removes all their attachment and it creates in their hearts extraordinary courage. This is indeed strange. Next.
जन्तोस्सकृत्प्रणमतः जगदीड्यतां च तेजस्वितां च निशितां च मतिं सभायां कामाक्षिमाक्षिकझरीमिव वैखरीं च लक्ष्मीं च पक्ष्मलयति क्षणवीक्षणं ते
Kamakshi, take Kshana Vikshanam. Your glance, which is only for a second. Kshana Vikshanam, just for a second, your glance. What it does? Dantoho Sakrit Pranamataha Jagat Idyatam Cha Tejasvitam Cha Nishitam Cha Matim Sabhayam. It creates, in the case of devotees, so many things. Just by half a second, your sidelong glance, it does so many things for Jantoho, not just human being, for any living being. Janto is any living being. Sakrit Pranamataha, who worships just once. Sakrit means just once. A Jantu who worships just once, for him, it gives so many things. What it gives? Jagat Idyatam Cha. Being praised by the world. Idyata means being praised by the world. Shambhum Ide, we say. We pray to Shiva. We pray to Devi. So that Ide means prayer. So here it means being praised by the world. Tejasvitam, not Tejasvitam, Tejasvitam. Tejasvitam cha, Nishitam cha, Matim Sabhayam. Tejasvitam. It improves their tejas. It improves their brilliance. Sharpened brilliance. Nishita means sharpened. Or you can take, Nishita can be taken with Mati also. Nishitam he has put in the center. You can take it either way or both. Tejasvitam cha nishitam. Nishitam means sharpened brilliance, extraordinary brilliance. Nishitam cha matim sabhayam. Sabhayam, in an assembly of wise people, intellect, sharpened intellect. Nishitam cha matim, sharpened intellect. That means this man can speak very well to impress the sabha. His speech is very good because of the blessing of Devi. That is what he says. The blessing of Devi through sidelong gives so many things. Then what more it gives? Makshika jharim iva vaikharim. Now, Nishitam cha matim sabhayam was his intellect. See, people may have good intellect, they may not have good speech. People may have very good speech, they may not have good intellect. Now it gives both, the intellect as well as speech. Nishitam Chamatim was sharpened intellect. Now Vaikhari is speech. Now what type of speech? Makshika Jharimiva. Jari is a stream. Makshika means honey. Makshika means bee. Makshika means honey. So like a stream of honey. The speech is like a stream of honey. That also it gives. Then Lakshmim cha Pakshmalayati. It also grows Lakshmi, wealth. It grows wealth. It grows. So so many things the Kshanavikshanam has done. The glance for a half a second has done so many things. For a Jantu, for a being who has just worshipped once, who has prostrated just once, it gives him being the state of being praised by the entire world. It gives him extraordinary brilliance. It gives him sharpened intellect in an assembly, and it gives him speech which is like a stream of honey, and it also gives him grown wealth which is growing. Lakshmim cha Pashmalayati. It develops a wealth. Now, if you see this shloka, it is a very clear reference to the state of the poet Mookapavi himself. Mookapavi was Mooka, and then he was able to get all this, being praised by the entire world because he became Jagadguru Acharya. Brilliance, no question about it. Matim, no question about it. Vaikhari, again, no question because this Mookapanchashati itself is a proof of his Vaikhari. Now, wealth. What is the wealth for a sannyasi? Sannyasi, the wealth is Vedic knowledge. Jnana is the wealth, not the wealth which is mundane. So, he also got that wealth, which is the jnana, which is the Vedic knowledge. So, he has got all these things because of the blessing of Devi in the form of glance. That is what his own experience he has put in the form of a beautiful shloka. Now, if you compare it with Saundarya Lahari, shloka number 15, same idea has been put out in Saundarya Lahari. Sharad Jyotsna Shuddham Shashiyuta Jatajota Makutam Varat Trasatrana Phatika Ghutika Pustaka Karam. Now, first part of the shloka is Devi's description. Devi's description is first part. Second part is what happens if you worship. Now, let us look at the description first, because this is Devi in the form of Maha Saraswati. Sharad Jyotsna Shuddham. It is Nirmala, blemish free, pure, like the autumn moonlight. Shashiyuta Jatajota Makutam. She has on the top of her head matted tresses accompanied by moon. Shashiyuta Jatajota Makutam. Varatrasatrana Phatika Ghutika Pustaka Karam. In her four hands, what she is holding? She is holding Varamudra, Abhayamudra. Tasatrana is Abhayamudra. Varamudra, Abhayamudra. Then Phatika Ghutika. Phatika Ghutika means Phatika Mala. Phatika Mala, which you use for chanting. Pustaka Karam. She is also holding Pustaka. Now, if you do the chanting with Saraswati in your mind, then she will give you knowledge. That is why she is having both Phatika Ghutika as well as Pustaka. If you do the chanting, meditating on her, then she will give you knowledge. So if you do this, Sakrinnatva Natva Kathamiva Satam Sannidadhate Madhukshira Draksha Madhurima Dhurinaha Bhanitayaha. How it will not happen? He is putting in the form of a question. What will not happen? For Satam, for virtuous people, Sakrinnatva, those who have worshipped just once, Those who have worshipped just one. Here also he said, na, Sakrit Pranamataha. He says, Sakrit Natva. Worshipping only one, Kathameva Sannidadhate. How it happens. Not Sannidadhate, how it will not happen. What will not, how it will not happen, what will not happen? Madhukshira, Draksha, Madhurima, Dhurinaha, Bhanitayaha. Bhanitayaha means words. Words which are spoken. They are so sweet. Madhurima dhurinaha. Dhurinaha means carrying the weight of sweetness. That means they are so sweet. They are weighty sweet. What is the weight of sweetness? Madhu, Kshira, Draksha. Three types of sweetness are there, so that it is heavy. That is why he is using the word dhurinaha. Dhurinaha means weighty, heavy. What is the heavy sweetness? One is madhu, honey, another is kshira, which is milk, another is draksha, which is grapes. So the sweetness of grapes, the sweetness of milk, the sweetness of honey are all flowing in his speech. That is, he gets just by worshipping only one to Devi in the form of Saraswati, which is described in the first part of the shloka. So same idea has been described here. Next.
कादम्बिनी किम् अयतेन चलानुषङ्गं भृङ्गावली किमुररि पुरुतेन पद्मं किं वा कलिन्दतनया सहतेन भङ्गं कामाक्षि निश्चयपदं न तवाक्षि लक्ष्मीः.
Kamakshi, last line, Taba Akshi Lakshmi, your glance, which is in the form of a Lakshmi, which is in the form of a splendor, or Lakshmi Devi, Nishchaya Padam, then we will see that Nishchaya Padam later on, Taba Akshi Lakshmi, Nishchaya Padam na sahate. Nishchaya Padam na sahate. That means why it is not steady, because the glance is always fickle, we have seen, isn't it? It is not Nishchaya Padam. It is not a steady state. So why it is not attaining a steady state? That is the question, for which he is putting some more questions. Kadambini sim ayate na jalanushangam. Kadambini means mass of clouds. We have seen it before. Mass of cloud, thick mass of clouds. Thick mass of clouds keeps moving. Ayate means does it not attain na jala anushangam, contact with water. That means when it is pouring out water, it is steady, the cloud does not move. Otherwise, the cloud keeps moving. So similarly, when your eyes keep moving, why it cannot remain steady on a devotee? That is the question. So he is comparing it with a cloud which keeps moving, but when it pouring water, it becomes steady. Bringavali kim urari kurute na padmam. Bringavali, a row of bees, a row of bees. Deepavali means a row of deepas, row of lights, lamps. Similarly, row of bees here. Bringavali kim urari kurute na padmam. Padmam, lotus, kim na urari kurute. Does it not become steady? Does it not become fixed with the lotus? See, the bringa keeps moving here and there, but when it sees the, when it goes to the lotus, it becomes steady, just as the cloud becomes steady when it starts pouring out water. Similarly, Kimva Kalinda Tanaya Sahate na Bhangam. This is the story. Kalinda Tanaya is Kalindi Yamuna, daughter of Kalinda. Yamuna, does she not forbear Bhangam? Bhangam means breaking. That means there is a story that Balarama wanted to change the course of Yamuna. So there was a quarrel with the Kauravas. So what he did, he used his plow and stopped the flow of Yamuna towards Hastinapura. So by using his plow, Balarama stopped the flow of Yamuna. But Yamuna did not protest. Yamuna bore it with decency. So he says, Kalinda Tanaya Sahate na Bhangam. Did not Yamuna bear the stoppage of the water at the hands of Balarama? Similarly, why your eyes do not remain steady? He is giving three examples where unsteadiness is their normal feature. Similarly, river is unsteady till it meets the ocean. It goes on flowing. But in the case of Yamuna, it became steady in one particular place even before meeting the ocean because Balarama stopped it. Similarly, the mass of clouds in contact with water becomes steady when it starts pouring out water. Similarly, the row of bees becomes steadily fixed on a lotus. Yamuna becomes fixed at a particular place when it was stopped by Balarama. Why your Akshi Lakshmi, the Lakshmi which is your eye, the radiant which is Lakshmi, which can be interpreted as a Lakshmi, why that Lakshmi is not steady? Because Lakshmi is known to be unsteady, isn't it? Lakshmi is always chanchala. Lakshmi goes from person to person. The wealth never remains steady, we say, isn't it? So that is why he is using the Lakshmi concept here. So he says, your unsteady ground, which is like Lakshmi, why it does not remain steady? Because these three people are remaining steady in their respective places. Next.
काकोलपावक त्रिणीकरणेऽपि दक्षः कामाक्षि बालकसुधाकर शेखरस्य अत्यन्तशीतलतमोऽपि अनुपारतं ते चित्तं विमोहयति चित्रमयं कटाक्षः.
Again, the Kataksha is expressing wonder. He is expressing wonder at the Kataksha. He says, in the case of Shiva, O Kamakshi, what does Shiva do? Kakola Pavaka Trini Karanepi Dakshaha. Dakshaha means expert. He is an expert in Trini Karana, means taking it very light, making light, ignoring, making light. Trina means grass, like a grass making light. He is expert in ignoring Kakola Pavaka, the fire of the poison. Kakola is the poison, Pavaka is the fire. He is an expert in ignoring the fire arising from the poison which is in his throat. He doesn't care for that fire. In that heat, he doesn't care. Who doesn't care? Balaka Sudhakara Shekharas. Yeah. Shiva, whose head is adorned by Balaka Sudhakara, moon, young moon, the crescent moon, he does not care. Because Sudhakara is pouring out Amrita. Cool Amrita is coming from Shiva. So he does not bother about the heat of the fire which is coming from the poison because he is having Amrita from his head. That can be interpreted like that. That is why he is saying Balaka Sudhakara. Now what happens to Shiva? Atyanta Shitala Tamopi Anuparatamte Chittam Vimohayati. Your Kataksha Shekharasya Chittam Vimohayati. It deludes his mind. It deludes his mind because even though it is extremely cool, Atyanta Shitala Tamaha. Shitala is cool, Atyanta Shitala very cool, Atyanta Shitala Tamaha. He is using so many superlatives. Atyanta Shitala Tamaha Api, even though it is the best among the most cool objects. It is the best among the most cool objects. So cool it is, your glance. Now, he is used to ignoring the heat of his poison. Now, why he is not able to ignore the cool glance? Why his mind gets deluded? That is the question. Anuparatam means continuously. It's not as if he gets deluded only once in a way. No. Anuparatam, continuously. Continuously, his mind is getting deluded by your Kataksha. This is Chitramayam. It is extremely wonderful. It is something which is beyond understanding. I cannot understand. It is very wonderful. He is able to ignore the heat of the fire coming, the heat of the fire coming from the poison. He is having on his head Balaka Sudhakara, the crescent moon, which is throwing out Amrita. Even though your glance is the best among the most cool objects, his mind is continuously getting deluded. He cannot stand the heat of your glance. That is the meaning. He can stand the heat of the poison, but he cannot stand the heat of the kama, the heat of the glance. He is unable to ignore the heat of the glance. This is Chitramayam. This is great wonder. Next.
कार्पण्यपूरपरिवर्धितुम् अम्बमोह कन्दोद्गतं भवमयं विषपादपं मे तुङ्गं चिनत्तु तुहिनाद्रिसुते भवत्याः काञ्चीपुरेश्वरि कटाक्ष कुठारधारा.
He is using so many addresses here to address Devi. Tuhinadri Sute, daughter of the cool Himavan, snow-clad Himavan. Kanchipura Ishwari, you are the Ishwari of Kanchipuram. Bhavatyaha Kataksha Kuthara Dhara. Bhavatyaha, your Kataksha sidelong glance. Kuthara is like an axe. Dhara means the edge, the sharp edge of your axe. Why he is comparing Kataksha with an axe? Because Tungam Chinattu, Tungam, it is very tall. Chinattu, let it break. Your axe should break something which is very tall. What is that something which is very tall? May Visha Padapam. My Padapa means tree. The tree which is poisonous. What is that poisonous tree? Bhavamayam. It is full of samsara. My samsara tree, which is poisonous, which is very tall, which has grown. It has grown over so many births, so many janmas. This padapa, this tree has grown. Chinattu, let it break. Let it uproot. What should uproot? Your kutharadhara, your sharp edge of axe of kataksha should rend, should break the tall tree, the poisonous tree, which is samsara, which is mine. Now, the poisonous tree, how did it grow? He says, what is the cause of this poisonous tree? Karpanyapura parivardhitam amba, O mother, moha kandodgatam. Let us take moha kandodgatam first. Kanda means root. Moha kandodgatam. It is rooted in moha. It has come out of the root of moha, delusion. Because we do not know the right from the wrong, the permanent from the impermanent, the good from the bad, we always choose the wrong one. So that is moha, that is delusion, that is samsara, that is the poison. Moha kandodgatam, and it has grown by a free flow of waters. What is the flow of water here? Karpanya pura parivardhita. Parivardhita, it has grown very well because of excessive pura karpanya. Karpanya means poverty. What is the poverty here? Not only poverty of wealth, poverty of knowledge. Because I have absolutely no knowledge, my poisonous tree of ignorance, which is in the form of samsara, which is rooted in moha, delusion, it has grown tall. So please come, use your kataksha, kutharadhara, and break it. That is the prayer. It's a prayer, straight prayer. O mother, O daughter of snow-clad Himavan, O Ishwari of Kanchipuram, three addresses he is using, because he is a prayer, he is praying humbly before Ishwari. He is using three addresses, calling upon her, please show your mercy, I have no other way, how do I get out of this? That is why he is praying and falling at her feet and asking for kataksha. Your sidelong glance, the axe of the sidelong glance, the sharp edge of that axe should Chinattu should break the tree which has grown tall, the poisonous tree which has grown tall, which is nothing but samsara, which is rooted in the root. Kanda means root. The bulbous root is called kanda, like potato, etc. That's called kanda. The rooted in delusion, and it is grown by the free flow of waters of karpanya, poverty. Karpanya pura parivardhitam. I think we'll stop now and invite questions.
Guruji, I have one question.
Mhm.
So in number 64, the third line, the poet is drawing the contrast. Atyanta Shitala
Mm.
Upyanu Paratam. So can you please
Mm.
explain that contrast? I'm not understanding that.
No. The Devi's glance is extremely cool. Atyanta Shitala Tamaha Api. Even though it is extremely cool, it continuously deludes Shiva's mind. See, on seeing something very cool, your mind should become cool, calm, isn't it? Not agitated, not get deluded. Whereas Shiva gets deluded, even though he is used to ignoring the heat of the poison, though he is holding the young moon on his head, he can ignore the heat of the poison which is in his throat. Why he cannot ignore the heat of the glance? That is the question. Though it is extremely cool, why you cannot ignore it? That is the question. Anuparadam means continuously. It gets continuously deluded, constantly deluded. That is the meaning. That is the wonder. Yeah.
Does anybody else have any questions? Thank you, Guruji, for the explanation. Anybody else have any questions for Guruji?
One doubt. Chanchala glance is chanchala. Does it mean is it showing something which is positive or not steady? Is it good?
Where?
Chanchala,
Which sloka?
shloka number 61.
61.
Chanchala nirikshana vibhrama, the beauty of your fickle glance.
Yeah, it is beautiful. See, Chanchala is beautiful, no doubt, but being Chanchala, it creates different effects. That is the wonder. The wonder is that. See, for creating effect, you have to be, see, for us to do your work with concentration, then only we will get the result, isn't it? When we do some work with great, if you move your eyes here and there, you will not be able to do any work properly. Whereas in the case of, though it is beautiful, that is why he is saying Vibhrama. It is no doubt beautiful to look at, but it creates different effects on different people. How is it? That is the question.
Oh,